What's up, everybody? Here I am with my iPhone 7 and my iPod Touch. We're going to try and do a comparison video of these two devices, of the differences and the similarities, and go over the aspects of each device. We're going to start off with the iPhone. This is it. Right over here we got an iPhone 7. This is a 32 gig model in the regular black. I think this is like a space black, but there is a jet black, which is like a gloss black model of this phone. This one has a decent camera, and it's actually the successor of the iPhone 6. As you see, this is the first iPhone that doesn't have the 3.5mm audio jack. It's got your typical lightning port, like ever since the iPhone 5. But overall, you can actually use a little special adapter for a little 3.5mm headphones, or want to hook it up to your vehicle and plug it into the auxiliary port. Even though you can connect your phone to the USB port in some vehicles, or use the Bluetooth capabilities. But I use this phone strictly just for phone calls, and I got mine set up where I can use the 6-digit pin to unlock my phone instead of the optional fingerprint reader. But as you see on the side, you got your typical volume controls and this little button right here to turn the ringer on or off, as well as your lock button on where my thumb is. And yes, I do keep this phone in a case. These are both running iOS 10.3.2. And overall, sorry for moving around, my foot was trying to fall asleep, but the iPhone actually has cellular, which the iPod doesn't. And I use this phone to check social media while I'm on the go and everything. And I do have it connected to Wi-Fi, of course. And these are all my apps when I need them when I'm on the go. Nothing really exciting. I don't really use this phone for music, that's why I got that iPod over there. We're going to go ahead and talk about that iPod and show you some of the aspects of this device. And yes, I'm going to put this phone back in the case once I clean it off. Here's the iPod Touch. This is an iPod Touch 6th Gen. We'll go ahead and unlock it. It still uses the old unlock method from the previous iOS devices. Got your typical volume controls, no little switch right here for you could turn the ringer on or off. Your lock button like some older iPods and older iPhones. And they both got the front facing camera as well as the back camera. This is my little device I use strictly for music. And this one even has a lightning port and a 3.5mm jack, since the iPod Touch 6th Gen came out in 2015, I believe. But you can use the internet on here, and this is actually a 16 gig. I didn't really need nothing bigger because I just use it strictly for music. Why would I need an iPod to do everything when I'm on the go when I got the iPhone? But if I need music on the iPhone, I can do Pandora and Spotify, in which I keep all my music on this thing, so when I want to listen to music, I can just get out my iPod. But you can actually use iCloud on both of these devices. I'm gonna just put these two side by side. But and I forgot to mention something. On right here is where you can actually get to the SIM card on this iPhone, but it's hard to see it on camera because of the poor lighting of my camera. But so overall, with both devices, I can access all my stuff from the iCloud And I can even track both devices from my Mac, because I use my MacBook Pro to connect to do backups with iTunes. So overall, this is just a short little comparison. And you can actually do Wi-Fi calling on the iPhone. I actually have Wi-Fi calling disabled on this iPod because it kind of interferes when I get phone calls off this iPod. You know, off the iPhone when I listen to music on the iPod, but because this iPod is just strictly for music, while I use the iPhone, but most likely for phone calls because it's a phone and it gets the job done, and do text messages. But somehow you can even access your iMessages on the iPod though. But overall, this is just a little short demonstration. I'm gonna just go ahead and end this video, and thanks for watching.